Hello, Ingo. You have mentioned once in regards to mobility and car ownership that what's going to be more important in the future is not so much car ownership but mobility. If you add to that autonomous driving and a reduction in car accidents, how do you think should car insurers or insurers in general adapt now?
Well, car insurers or motor insurers, they have a history and they're very much used to evolution. They need to go from evolution to revolution because otherwise at some point in time there will be extinction for them. What does it mean? As you said, accidents going down, the sharing economy. So what motor insurance need to do is they need to get closer to the customers with telematics solutions, for example. They need to follow the way up to autonomous driving with their customers. What does it mean? For example, pay as you drive, pay how you drive. This is what we know. The next step could be pay what you drive. So really taking into account on the way to autonomous driving how much safety is in the car. If your car is fully equipped with safety features or ADAS features, then your insurance premium should go down. And this is really following the way up to autonomous driving. Once you're driving, obviously, then you need still a motor insurance. If you're not driving, then it's product liability. On the other side, things like warranty or, for example, mobility interruption solutions, so new fields need to be discovered by the insurers, and they need to move into this to compensate what they're losing on the motor insurance side. This is the way forward.
And then if we take it one step further to actual car manufacturers, like for instance Mercedes-Benz, how are they adapting right now for this quite big shift in mobility?
Well, I come from the Daimler organization originally, but I've seen it also with other premium and non-premium OEMs. What they're doing is they're really focusing on mobility. A lot of times they have shifted this responsibility to their captives. So the financial services and insurance captives, they have a mindset that is very much flexible. They take things forward like car2go in the case of Daimler, or Movable or Autogravity. So they put these kind of initiatives, startups buying everything into this mobility box and see how they can move forward. Why is this so important? Because in the future, the margins from cars will further deteriorate, and it's data. This is where the real value added comes from. So they're competing against the Googles, and they need to ring fence their terrain and make sure that they're ready for the future. And the mobility revolution is definitely coming. Autonomous driving is coming, so if they're not ready at some point in time, there will not be a business model. So I think they're doing a great job in preparing with their captives.
That's a good, actually, the last point with the captives. So we can probably assume that automakers' captives will have a larger role in the future, correct?
As I said, I think this is the way forward. This is their focus right now, because the captives, they had an important role, but the role has grown a lot. The focus on the captives in the past was financing a little bit of insurance. This was side business. Now, because their focus is on mobility, if you look on their websites, they're all now speaking of their captives as the mobility providers for their groups. So as mobility is the future, you can see that the priority of the captives is really to secure the way into the future. And I think this is a good way to do it.
Talking about the future, obviously it is now autonomous driving. What do you foresee for the step after that?
Well, we had the first mobility revolution. We changed from the horse to the vehicle. Currently it's the second one, so autonomous driving. It's not there. It's technically feasible, but it's not there yet. And the next one, people always laugh at me, but we will see very soon flying cars. Many people don't like the term flying cars because they say they're flying pods. You're probably not going to fly it yourself. It will be autonomously flying. And I think it's much closer than many people believe. I speak to my mother, for example, it's 100 years ago or away from us. I don't think so. It could be just at, very close at our doorstep, because transponder technology and everything you need for flying, so the third dimension, is already there. And streets are crowded, air space is not crowded, at least not here. So I think the next step is really the flying cars, the third dimension.
Great perspective on the future. Thank you for your insights.
Thank you.
Thanks.
My pleasure.